name is Chinedu Vincent Akuta. On our meeting today, on the Zoom meeting today, we have Barrister Emeka Siri, the chairman of MOBIN. MOBIN is Movement of Biafrans in Nigeria. On today's meeting, he will be talking about the Biafran power sector, the MOBIN's ideology on the power sector, part 1, where he will tell us about plans of MOBIN to develop the Biafran power sector. So, Barrister Emeka Siri, you have the floor now, please.
Thank you, moderator, for this opportunity to discuss the power sector as it pertains to the Biafran territory. Yeah, when I talk about Biafran territory, I know that some people may raise eyebrows and say, which one is Biafran territory? I've been hearing people making such comments and said there is no Biafran territory because Biafra ceased to exist in 1970. Well, I want to make you understand this. So that we say the territory where Biafrans occupy. Okay, perhaps that is the better way to express it, technically speaking, because if you say Biafran territory, somebody say, oh, it's Nigerian territory, not Biafran territory. Okay. But if you say the territory where Biafrans occupy, okay, that sounds better to some people. They may say, well, that is territory where Biafrans occupy. And I want to emphasize it. Now, why I'm saying that we must take control of the territory where Biafrans occupy. Let me not say of Biafran territory. Let me say we take control of the territory where Biafrans occupy. Why do I say so? You know, we are thinking that we will go to our promised land, Biafra. But the fact is that we are already in our promised land. I want you to understand that. We are different from the Israelites who had to move from Egypt and fight wars with many nations on their way to the promised land. They fought many wars with the Canaanites, with the Jebusites, the Kezites, the Perizzites, the Gagashites, the Hittites, all of them, they fought many wars over a period of 40 years until they entered the promised land. Our own is better, that we are already in our promised land. Julius Nyerere in 1968 made a comment. Let me read out what he said. When Tanzania recognized Biafra, he captured the essence of taking possession of our territory and said, let me quote him. He said, Tanzania has recognized the state of Israel and will continue to do so because of its belief that every people must have some place in the world where they are not liable to be rejected by their fellow citizens. But the Biafrans have now suffered the same kind of rejection within their state that the Jews of Germany experienced. Fortunately, they already had a homeland. Fortunately, they already had a homeland. They have retreated to it for their own protection. And for the same reason, after all other efforts had failed, they have declared it to be an independent state. In the light of these circumstances, Tanzania feels obliged to recognize the setback to African unity which has occurred. We therefore recognize the state of Biafra as an independent sovereign entity and as a member of the community of nations. Only by this act of recognition can we remain true to our conviction that the purpose of society and of all political organization is the service of man. Unquote. Government Printers, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, 13th April 1968. Now he emphasized, fortunately, the Biafrans have their homeland. Now, you know why he emphasized that? In international law, having possession of a territory is one of the requirements to be granted independence, to be recognized. And the Biafrans have a territory. Fortunately for us, at the end of the war, the Nigerian soldiers did not drive us out of our territory. They kept us in our territory. We are in possession of our land. We are in possession of Biafran land. The only thing we lost is the administration, statutory administration by the laws of Nigeria, which confers sovereignty on the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's the only thing we lost, but we still possess our territory as Biafrans living in Nigeria. This is a great advantage. Now that we are Biafrans living in Nigeria, we lost our sovereignty, but our indigenous identity remains. What shall we do? As we are seeking for independence, we are seeking for self-determination, we are seeking for freedom. What shall we do to our territory? Some people are saying, let's wait until Biafra comes. That doesn't make sense. We're already in Biafra land. The only thing we don't have is sovereignty. But we are already occupying the territory of Biafra. Okay, even if you don't want to call it Biafran territory, call it a territory where Biafrans occupy. Whichever way is only a matter of technicality, whether it's a Biafran territory or territory where Biafrans occupy. But we are Biafrans occupying our homeland. Our homeland at the moment is within Nigeria. So we are Nigerians by citizenship, but we are Biafrans by indigenous identity, occupying our ancestral homeland. So what shall we do to our homeland? We keep blaming federal government or blaming the British people, blaming people here and there, but we should look inwards and look at ourselves and blame ourselves where we should be blamed. Okay. We have the power to develop our land, our own territory, while pursuing our right to self-determination. Whether the freedom we seek is freedom within Nigeria as an autonomous governing region, or freedom outside Nigeria as an outright independent nation. Whichever freedom we want, that's the same territory where we shall occupy. Even if we get outright independence as a sovereign nation called Biafra, Republic of Biafra, or whatever name we choose, even if we get that independence, it is still the same land where we occupy. It is the same land. So whatever we build on this land remains on this land, whether it is freedom as an autonomous region or freedom as an outright independent nation. It is the same land, our ancestral land. Therefore, it is necessary for us to build up our land, occupy our land, take control of our land in every aspect, physically, spiritually, politically, economically. We must possess our land while expecting a better future. Listen, the principle of taking possession, taking control, being in control of what has been given to you while expecting a better status. That principle was stated by Jesus Christ when he said, occupy till I come. You know, he gave a parable where the master told the servant, occupy till I come. You need to occupy the space, the territory, whatever has been given to you, occupy fully, take full control of it until he comes, until a better thing comes, until what you're expecting comes. Occupy. So we need to occupy our territory. So when we say we want Biafrans to take control of Biafran territory in politics, we also mean in economics, we also mean in development. Today, we want to talk about power, because without electricity, without generating sufficient power, you cannot develop the territory. Power is very important in economic development. In fact, in everything, without power, you can't move, you can't develop. Even now, we talk about security. And in recent times, in modern times, security has gone to a different level. We now use electronic gadgets to monitor things, monitoring and surveillance instruments, electronics. You need power. Even your telephone, your mobile phone, you need to charge it, even if you want to use your mobile phone to send alerts, to alert people about a problem coming. You need to charge your phone. And in Nigeria, there's no power. There's no electricity. That is Nigeria. The Nigerian electricity problem has become a perennial plague and a kind of incurable disease. They were called in the 60s, and then we were calling them ECN, Electricity Corporation of ECN. From there, they call them NEPA. Some people say it is never a spare power always. From there, they call NEP PLC. NEP PLC, never a spare power, please light candle. From there, they say power holding. They the power. They say they're the one holding the power. So they have tried everything to bring power, to generate electricity in Nigeria, and it does not work. Nigeria has reformed the power sector several times, yet nothing has worked. Why is it that way? And because nothing has worked in the electrical sector, in the power sector, the economy is down. Without sufficient power, there is nothing you can do. Go to Aba, for instance. Those boys, those young men in their shops, constructing shoes overnight. They need power, they need light to even to produce the shoes. Everything you just need sufficient energy, power to produce it. And they don't have the power. The power is epileptic. Even in the homes, we don't have the power. You have to pray. Imagine Nigerians pray for everything, even praying for that God will make NEPA to bring light. Imagine you pray that light should come for you to even iron your clothes. It's a horrible experience in Nigeria. It's terrible. It's something you don't know how to describe the power situation in Nigeria. Go now, every person, every house has generator. You have all kinds of generator. If you can't buy the big one, you buy the small one. They call, I better pass my neighbor. I better pass my neighbor. That small one. Everywhere you will be hearing noise, generator everywhere. So, and this pollution. Everywhere is polluted. Pass through your compound, pass through a street in the night. The noise of the generators will be scary, and the fumes, the pollution, the carbon dioxide, the carbon monoxide, the pollutants, all the noxious gases that are being emitted that are harmful to the health of humans. But they don't really know that these things are harming them. In fact, there was a time, I think it was about 2005 or 2004, where the newspaper published the harvest of deaths in Aba, where, yes, I think we just woke up one morning and heard that the people, some Christians who went for their night vigil, I think some Christians from Deeper Life who went for their night vigil, I think one of their elders, in Hukume or something, they were praying. By the time they woke in the morning, they had all died. And it was later found it was fume. That is the generator that was emitting carbon monoxide or some dangerous gas. And they died. People were saying, what happened? They said they went to do deliverance and demons killed them. It was not the demon. It's not demon. It is pollution. The gas, the noxious gas, very dangerous gas that killed them. People have been dying like this in various places in Nigeria because of noxious gases that are being emitted from the generators. And this is shortening the lifespan of Nigerians. It appears that the government has no solution to the power problem in Nigeria. So without sufficient power, we cannot develop. That's what we want to talk about today. Power. We need power. Now, Nigeria has 4 gas power stations and three hydropower stations. Nigeria reconstructed itself, reformed itself, and created about 9 partners in the electricity production or generation project. They call it Nigeria electricity sector industry or something. They keep giving themselves various names from one administration to another administration. Now they have these nine actors. They said Federal Ministry of Power, Nigeria Electricity Regulation Commission, Electricity Generation Companies, Transmission Company of Nigeria, Electricity Distribution Companies, Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, Gas Aggregator Company of Nigeria, Nigerian Electricity Management Company, and then 23 grid-connected generating plants supplying power in Nigeria. And now, you see all the things we listed. These are the people in charge of electricity. About 9, in fact, 9 or more than 9, plus 23 grid-connected generating plants all over Nigeria producing power. And what do they produce? They have 7 sources they produce from 7 sources. Now look at these 7 sources. Afam power plant. Afam produces 776 megawatts and it uses gas power. Sapele produces 414 megawatts, uses gas. Egbin power station produces 1020 megawatts, uses gas. Ugeli produces 900 megawatts, it uses gas. Then the other 3, Kayenji power plant uses hydro. Jeba produces 578 megawatts, also hydro. Then Shiroro power plant produces 600 megawatts using hydro. So of all the 7, there are only 3 hydro plants. That is Kainji and Shiroro. The rest of the other 4 are gas. Okay. And now all these ones, what do they produce? If you calculate the number of megawatts they produce, all came to 5,048 megawatts. 5,048 megawatts for a country of 200 million people, over 200 million. And we can only produce 5,048 megawatts from these 7 stations, from these 5,048 megawatts for a country of over 200 million. But compare it with South Africa that has only 58 million people, but produces 51,309 megawatts. 51,309 megawatts for only 58 million people. Nigeria with 200 million people producing only 5,000. So how can we survive? How can Nigeria survive? How? With over 200 million people generating only 5,000 megawatts. Compared with South Africa that has a population of 58 million people producing, listen, 51,309 megawatts of power. You can see that Nigeria cannot survive unless restructured. Unless restructured, Nigeria cannot survive. If you like, reform the power sector anyhow. Unless you restructure, Nigeria cannot survive. But there is something good. There's something good. You know that we have been thinking that Nigeria should actually play the role in producing power. But if you go to the Nigerian Constitution, this Nigerian Constitution, electricity generation, electricity production, generation, distribution is not in the hand of the federal government. Maybe some of you don't know.
Hey.
Exclusive legislative list Nigeria has 3 legislative lists. I will tell you anyway. I will talk more about the legislative list. The exclusive legislative list does not have electricity. So Nigeria has no power. The federal government has no power to make law regarding generation of electricity, distribution of electricity, production of electricity. Nigeria has no power over that. Rather, it is given to concurrent legislative list. Now, concurrent legislative list is where both Nigeria and the states can legislate. And that is where the electricity generation and distribution comes in. So because it's in concurrent legislative list, federal government can legislate, state government can legislate. That is why it's called concurrent. So if it were only in exclusive legislative list, we will lay the burden, we lay the blame on federal government. But it is in the concurrent legislative list. So we should not blame Nigeria all. Because in fact, if you look at the Nigerian reform sector, Nigeria divested itself of every share in the power sector and gave it to privatize it. So it means that the power generation now, electricity now, is in the hands of the states and private sector. So what then shall we do? We now know that we have the power, we have the right to generate electricity. So the states now can take up the matter. But we are going to something else, because even the states will disappoint us. Who are the people in the state? The state houses of assembly or the governors? Sometimes I even feel that they don't understand what they are there for. Honestly, I don't intend to disparage any person or to insult any person or to malign any person. God forbid. The Bible says, speak evil of no man. So I will not speak evil of any of them. But somehow I wonder whether they actually know the powers they have, whether they actually know the roles they are expected to play in the House of Assembly, for instance. Now, I was trying to tell you that Nigeria has 3 legislative lists. And you may wonder why. Because you have been hearing of exclusive legislative list, concurrent legislative list, then which list again? Nigeria has 3 legislative lists. The exclusive legislative list, which are items reserved only to the federal government to legislate upon. Concurrent legislative lists, which are items reserved both for the federal government and the states to legislate upon. It is concurrent. But there is another legislative list called residual legislative list. Residual legislative list. You can't find it here in any of the schedule. You cannot find the residual legislative list in the schedule of legislative powers. Where will you find it? You will find it in section 4, subsection 7, paragraph B of the Constitution. Section 4, subsection 7, paragraph A, sorry, not paragraph B, paragraph A of the Constitution. It reads, let me read it for you. It says, the legislative powers of a state, the legislative powers of a state of the Federation shall be vested in the House of Assembly of the state. 7. The House of Assembly of a state shall have power to make laws for the peace, order, and good governance of the state or any parts thereof with respect to the following matters. That is to say, A, any matter not included in the exclusive legislative list set out in part 1 of the 2nd schedule of the Constitution. You see that sentence, that single sentence is weighty. That single provision that the State House of Assembly has power to legislate on any matter not included in the exclusive legislative list that is preserved for the federal government. That the State House of Assembly has power to legislate on any matter that is not included in the exclusive legislative list. Do you know this is an open check? Do you know this is an open check? Any matter that is not in the exclusive legislative list, that the State House of Assembly has power to legislate on it and enforce it in the state. Now, go to exclusive legislative list. You will see there are so many matters that are omitted there. Do you know referendum is one of the matters? Because people say, there's no referendum in Nigerian constitution. I keep laughing at them. Do you know that the State House of Assembly can bring a bill in the State House for the people to decide the way forward for themselves? Because it is not in the exclusive legislative list. It falls under the residual list. I am saying this now, I'm preaching this now, not just because of this Eastern House members in the East, because somehow I don't know why they are reluctant or they are not active. They are not activists. I'm preaching this so that somebody, a radical lawmaker, either in the South, Southwest, Middle Belt, North Central, wherever, will hear my voice and pick up this law and enforce it in the House of Assembly. Let that bill be moved in the House of Assembly. Anything that is not contained in the exclusive list falls under the residual list, under Section 47A of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Sometimes I tell people that Nigerian Constitution is so beautiful, and some people say I don't know what I'm talking about. What we need is radical lawmakers. When we're talking about, we see people misunderstand radicalism. Radicalism does not mean stupidity and foolishness. In fact, radicalism without intellectualism is foolishness and stupidity. Is like is madness. We're talking about intellectual power of radicalism. We're talking about using the law. In fact, one of the rules or one of the functions of law is social engineering. Yes, when we study law, we are taught about the functions of law. Functions of law. One of the functions of law is social engineering. So you can use the law to redirect the society. But the people in our houses of assembly, both at the state level and national level, sometimes I feel I don't know why they don't seem to understand the powers they have. Do you know that the houses of assembly of any particular region, for instance, in the Southeast, the Imo State House of Assembly, Abia State, Enugu State, Ebonyi State, and so on, how many 5 states there are? These 5 states House of Assembly, do you know they can make a bill now merging their states, forming what is called, in short, just like ECOWAS. You know that a state is like a person. These states are mentioned like Abia State, Imo State, Enugu State, and so they were created by law. And the law of corporate personality means that anything created by law is a person. So Imo State can enter into agreement with a person because Imo State is seen as a person. Abia State is a person. Any state created by law is a person. Legal personality is either you are a natural person, just like I'm a Emeka, I'm a natural person. I can sue or be sued in my name. An artificial personality, what we call juristic personality, is an entity created by law, either by an enactment enactment like this or registered in the corporate affairs, it becomes a legal personality, juristic person. States are juristic persons which can enter into contract or agreement with other persons. So the 5 states in Southeast can have an agreement among themselves and merge themselves and become a superpower economy. Just like ECOWAS, the different countries teaming together, answering one ECOWAS with a treaty. Just like the EU, it's an economic union for empowerment of the region, yet without breaking away from Nigeria. You can see they can actually build a super economy within the Southeast by merging their economies together. This was the proposal I made in 2005 and sent to the Southeast Governors Forum in the days of C.V.Akuta on Hakim. I called it Union of States of Eastern Nigeria, USEN. Maybe I'll get that proposal and send to MOBIN. You can publish it. Union of States of Eastern Nigeria, USEN, where the states can merge their economies by passing the bills in the Houses of Assembly and creating a powerful economy within the region. As a region, we're talking about autonomy. You can actually create autonomy without waiting for Nigerian government by passing the bill and merging your region, because you are a state and you have power to enter into agreement with another state. Hey, how I wish an intelligent, firebrand, radical lawmaker can understand what I'm saying now and present a private member bill. Then you govern yourselves. You have not broken the law. You have not dissolved Nigeria. You have not disintegrated Nigeria. You are still within Nigeria, but governing yourself, merging your economy. That is, by the way, we are not yet talking. We are talking today about power sector. Something took me to that level when I was talking about the legislative list and the residual legislative list. Now I come to what we are talking about today, the power sector. You have seen that there are 4 gas plants and 3 hydro plants. We want to talk about hydro. MOBIN is presenting or making a proposal for the use of hydro power plants to power our region. This thing is so beautiful that it's accessible to everybody. There is no community that has no stream or river in Biafra land. We have streams and rivers in Biafra land. And the hydropower, you can generate hydropower electricity from any kind of river or stream. The faster the river flows, the better. But if it doesn't flow fast, you can dam it. If you dam it, and then the fall will make the turbine to generate power. You know, if in fact in Aba, for instance, that river we call Aba River, we call waterside, you can dam it and create high pressure of waterfall, and then install micro hydro power machine, and it will generate electricity. All the rivers we have, even in my community, Njaba River, you can create dam. In fact, you can create dam in a bit, like in Amucha, you can create a dam, and then it will generate power and supply energy to Amucha or Nkume or Kudo or Maka and so on. You can dam it in several places. Wangele can be dammed, you know, like Webereden. There are so many rivers, Orash, There are so many rivers we can dam and create power. Oji River uses thermal, but then it stopped functioning in 2004. Oji River plant, actually thermal plant, was built before independence. In fact, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England, visited that place on 28th of January 1956, even before Nigeria independence. Then it was producing just about 10 megawatts. After the Nigerian Civil War, Biafra and Nigerian War, it was now increased, upgraded to 33 megawatts. But by 2004, it stopped functioning. Nigerian government abandoned it. I don't know what's happening there now. Maybe those at Oji River should tell us what is happening there at Oji River. What we are saying is that hydropower plants are cheaper, safer, and produces power 24 hours, 247. So it doesn't cost much. We have our engineers there. Biafran engineers can design turbines, micro turbines. Doesn't have to be gigantic, micro turbines, hydropower turbines, micro turbines for various villages. Every community can generate plants. You don't need to wait for federal government or state government. Unfortunately, it falls under private sector. You don't need to go to the national grid. You don't need to be put in national grid. You can generate and serve yourself. You know, I remember in the 1980s, at a point during the days of Sam Mbakwe, the electricity problem was solved for us. He built Amarako power station. I think Amarako power station, either he was using thermal or something, but he built that power station, and we connected. My hometown, Amucha, connected in 1986. We were not in the national grid. We were not under NEPA, but we were able to have our own power, our own energy. You know, I helped my community. I did the project appraisal for my community. Then I came out newly from the university. I left the university in 84. So by 1986, when my community wanted it, I did some project appraisal. They were giving this matching grant. The Imo State government was giving a matching grant, 25% matching grant or something. Then, you know, we did it. I provided that appraisal reports and we were able to get light power that time. You know, what I'm trying to say is that we can source our power without relying on the government. I understand that even the Amarako power station, after some time, I don't know what happened. The Imo State government, I don't know the governor that sold all the things there. I heard that all the things have been sold by one governor. I don't know the governor that did that. So these people, these are our governors. Well, I don't know. I don't think they are there for us. That they don't mean well for us. I mean, the people that we have seen in the past, hopefully they will change. But what I have seen now, they have not changed. They are there, and the people are crying. Are they telling me that they don't know that they can do something about the power sector, knowing that the power sector lies in the hand of the state, the concurrent list? I don't think any governor can tell me, and I would believe him, that he doesn't know that the power or the right or the duty to produce sufficient energy, electricity in his state lies in his hand. Or does he not read the Constitution? Or even he doesn't have attorney general or lawyers who advise him. So we can go for hydropower stations in all our communities, established in all our communities. All we need now is for Biafran engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers to team up. And MOBIN is pioneering this project. MOBIN is pioneering this project. The local governments can contact MOBIN. Local governments and communities can contact MOBIN. And so we can work on it. Every community that has a river or stream, it is possible for you to generate power, to power the community 24/7. It is possible. Yes, there will be some work to be done. We can construct some dam, equipment will be purchased, And this thing will start running, and it creates employment for everybody. It creates employment even for the engineers. It creates employment for the people who will use the power to work. Even if it's a small industry you are doing, you have power to do it. Everything boils down on power. Without electricity, sufficient electricity, nothing can work. Therefore, I am calling upon all of us, all the Biafrans, all proprietors, all investors, the local governments, the community heads, leaders, to now put their eyes into this thing we are talking about. We don't have to be waiting for the Nigerian government or state government to help us. We can do it ourselves at community levels. There's something I like about the Igbo man or the Biafrans generally. That self-help effort to help ourselves. I remember in the days we contributed what we call survival levy. I don't know, maybe some of you didn't hear about survival levy. There was a levy we paid in Imo State. We called it survival levy. Some people will ask us, why are you paying survival levy? We say it's a levy we are paying for surviving. So what? But do you know what we did? We used that survival levy to build the Imo airport. That Imo airport you are seeing today, we built it, we contributed what we called survival levy. Every one of us paid little to build that Imo airport. That Imo airport is self-help by community effort. All of us paid little money to build that Imo airport before the federal government took it. So we can still do it again. In fact, there's nothing we cannot do if we believe. We can develop our region, the Biafra region, or if you say I shouldn't call it Biafra region. Let me say the region where Biafrans occupy. You know, in recent times, some people are saying we shouldn't be saying Biafran region because the former Biafran, all of them are no longer willing to answer Biafra. That some have denied Biafra, and therefore we shouldn't be saying Biafra because all the people in the former Eastern region are no longer agreeing or in agreement to be called Biafrans. Well, the thing is this. In times of war, in times of persecution, in times of a lot of things, people deny their identity. It's understandable. But we are Biafrans. The fact that the map has not been drawn does not change the fact that we are Biafrans. In court, when we filed a suit in 2012, which was reconstituted in 2013, the Nigerian government, the Nigerian lawyers wanted to know who were my clients. If you say you are the lawyer for the Biafrans, who are the Biafrans? They wanted me to define my clients. Who are your clients? Who are the Biafrans? Well, I gave a definition that silenced all of them. And what did I define? I said my clients, the Biafrans, are all the inhabitants of the Southeast geopolitical region, parts of the South geopolitical region, and parts of the Middle Belt region. Now, do you see how I said all inhabitants of the Southeast, parts of South, and parts of Middle Belt? Geopolitical region. So by using that statement, that means I have defined a region geographically. I have defined that region geographically, even without geodetic surveying. Geodetic surveying is the empirical determination of the angle and the length and so on of the land. That will come later. Those of you who studied international law will know that that definition is enough, because in international law, what is required is to identify the particular geographical region, even if the borders are being disputed. Therefore, that definition stands. And they were silent because truly, the whole of Southeast, we say we are Biafrans. Parts of South agree. Parts of Middle Belt agree. So it is in future, in the due time, in the due course, we will now go to the specifics and carry out geodetic mapping and surveying to determine the boundaries. But for now, the geographical definition of the location is enough. And I've told you, using the law, the PCIJ judgment, the case of Greco-Bulgarian communities case, 1930, decided by the International Court of Justice, that the Biafrans qualify to be a people. And as a people, they are a nation, but not a nation state. So since we are a nation, but not yet a nation state, we can develop our nation within Nigeria. At the moment, we have started. We have organized ourselves using the customary law. We have organized ourselves and we are developing, we are increasing. You know, in recent times, we have appointed customary government emissary, envoy. So ambassador, but we don't call it ambassador under customary law. You know, so this is part of gathering ourselves together, developing ourselves together, and then moving together as a people within Nigeria, waiting for a better future. I said Jesus Christ gave us that instruction. When you are given something to take possession of, to possess and control, he says, occupy till I come. We must occupy our land, take control, both politically, economically, and otherwise, until we get there, the freedom, the total freedom we're looking for. And I tell you, we are not going to promised land. We are already in our promised land. We are not like the Israelites who had to fight many wars for 40 years on their way to the promised land. No, we are already in our promised land, the Biafra land. The only thing we lost is our sovereignty. Therefore, we have to be here and develop it, control it, enjoy it. Even if we are looking for freedom outside Nigeria. Outside Nigeria, the land of Biafra is not going to relocate. It is still the same place where we live. The only thing that will change is administration. So we are on our land, in our promised land. We're already occupying the promised land. We therefore must develop it in every ramification. In the bread that we have to develop it, our mindset has to be developed. Physical development, economic development, political development, every aspect of development must be achieved because that is where we have. I want to bring this discussion to an end so that you can ask your questions. The thing is that the hydropower plant we are advocating for has 100% efficiency. Let me put it that way, because it runs, it doesn't dry up unless the river dries up. Unless the river dries up, power continues. The power generation continues 24/7 unless the river dries up. And I know Njaba River and Orashi River will never dry up. I know Otamiri will not dry up. River Niger, Aba River, Waterside will not dry up. So as long as the water does not dry up, the power continues. It's not like the one that said NEPA has taken light. NEPA will not take light. Nothing like power cut because the river is flowing. Therefore, hydropower system is the best at the moment. Let us not continue waiting for the government. Let every community, every local government enter into this project. Hydropower system, hydrotech, micro turbines for hydropower generation, micro turbines, micro turbines to generate power for the community. Every community can have power 24/7 if we use hydro technology. That is my advice, and that's my lecture this evening. And I hope you take this message home and cooperate. All we are calling for now, Biafran engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers. MOBIN is assembling this workforce. The local government councils can contact us, communities can contact us, and let us start speeding up the development of Biafra land. It is Biafra land, or the land where Biafrans occupy. Whichever way you want to describe it, we are still on our land. That is the greatest miracle God made for us to keep us on our land even after the war. It's not like the Jews who we are taken away from their land to different places. We are already in our land. Thank you for listening to me. God bless you. If you have any question, I am here to answer.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vice Emeka. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. This is C.V.Akuta speaking. Now we'll take questions from the audience. If you want to ask a question, please, could you raise your hand up and then I will call you. I could see Professor Obo Chiegwe raising his hand up. Professor, please, you have the audience now. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I have, my name is Professor Obo Chiegwe from Idemili Local Government, Oro. I'm residing in California. The question I have is that about, I understand I came in late, but I understand the speaker is promoting the hydroelectric power as part of development. And then when the speaker is talking, I'm just asking it as a question. I was kind of surprised as a question. Why is it that you guys don't usually like to use latitude and longitude as a locational factors, you know, to describe the location of everywhere, which is today, GPS people are doing. And then because of that, I also noticed that there are certain things are mixed out because of not using that. Okay, when you are promoting the hydroelectric power, for the fact now Biafran land is 3 degrees north and 9 degrees east, you should have realized you also have a natural phenomena, which is sunlight advantage to that. You have advantage to a sun 24 hours. So my question is, why we taking for hydroelectric power, which has a geological problem, as we know, why can't we promote a solar system where you already have existing resource, which is sunlight? Nobody can take away from you. So why can't we promote that in addition to hydroelectric power? Because when we start this hydro, we're gonna see that the ecological problem is more than what the solar could have been giving to you. And then we start talking about, is that development sustainable? Okay. And that's where the problem lies.
Okay,
so
that's a
question. Yeah.
That's a good question. Is it a sustainable development? Using hydro, is it sustainable, or solar sustainable, or can they be used together? You made a good point about solar energy being constant. We have asked questions, and the engineers have told us that solar energy is more expensive. But quite all right, we agree with you that solar energy is in abundance. But we have been told that it is quite expensive at the moment. Perhaps in future, it may be easier. But for now, our inquiries have confirmed that solar power plant, solar energy, using the solar is more expensive. Yes, there could be some problems in future, you may say, ecological problems, but yes, until we see the problems, ecological problems like erosion, like the some other things, earth movements that can cause some
plants and animals is one of the things.
Over the water flow and so on, because we need the water to flow well for the power to. There could be interruptions, like you said. Yes, there could be such things. But for the moment, it is better to start, since we know it is easier. But it can be joined, like you said, solar can be used. But it's expensive. From what, I'm not an engineer, I only made research. I made inquiries, and I was told that solar Somebody is making noise. I'm not an engineer, but I made research and inquiries, and I was told that solar is more expensive, but hydrotech is better. So we can start with the one that we can afford. But those who can afford solar power plant, well and good, is better. If we can afford solar energy plant, that would be wonderful. I think we can, if our money, our multi-millionaires can help us develop solar energy plant, that would be wonderful. But I didn't want to assume that they will help us. That's why I went down to community level that can afford those little ones, the micro turbines. But if our big men who have the money can help us to power the whole Southeast with build solar energy plant, that would be wonderful. Thank you, my brother, for that that suggestion. It is part of it. If we can use solar power to develop our land, that's well. But if we don't have people to support us, I still call upon the communities and local governments to go for micro power tech, just micro turbines to generate power in their communities using their streams and rivers. I hope I have answered that.
I come on.
Okay.
Who is the next person? Could you say
B
a name and then your location, please? Please, where are you calling from and then?
I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Okay, B, you have the floor now, please.
Yeah. Emeka, thank you very much for your eloquent delivery. Again, this is the second time I've heard you. Okay. Yes, but Imago achom ka ndebe ulanya amonye ngopala, by the way.
Okay.
Eja she atom she ajawa nwanu no ya ujiroko. But in fact, Ibra bia atusia ebe my area in this. Yes, but yes, come much better. See a bit from I studied economics. I don't go come na Nepal for at least 5 years before I ever the school. Go try economics and then make businesses and then went back to school to study energy law at Tulsa College of Law, and then make I to Vermont Law School, where we have an institute behind energy and especially renewable energy.
Okay.
Now, it's not the engineering side of it, but the policy side of it, policy and the regulatory part of it.
Okay.
Where we package and a package in a help communities there, here community in the in Vermont. Okay, local communities, and I learned a lot there. But having said that, in a very good suggestion, but here, I happy all the time.
Yes.
And all the way we run things, the way we govern our affairs. Now, and I'm very glad that you went, first of all, to the Constitution.
Yes.
We may not like it, we may like it or whatever, but that's what is governing Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. Because this Atmati Weputara now, can we study because sometimes I undi by now have then Afuria because I that's all. This is workable. I know it. I have papers on it about it. It is workable. Yes, my hydro, be equal hydro here with different kinds of hydro.
Yes.
Run of the river hydro, when I pump to hydro, they're all different, depending on the area. Yeah. But only in cause also, yes, solar. Solar.
different kinds you can put there. The resources are not there.
Yes.
But the charge for MOBIN or other individuals or groups that may join the war in the packaging of this idea. Package it very well before even begin to say, oh, community in car. Because my community may need a different kind of technology to bring power there.
Yeah.
In job and we can
So different thing. Yeah.
But at the same time, in any stakeholders who can put these things, make it work
together. Yes.
So so because that's the charge, and the MOBIN and the Gnahana there.
I think with you too, since you are an expert in that field.
Okay, I don't mind. But you see, okay, and I'm a give we have walk before now a bit Olivia. Back and then another thing I not talk about avoid the Basarandibo. In my here we can you potariana kube but only Kegazu wanile.
Yeah.
Before a bido.
It's true. How maybe she herself?
Yes, because so all the charge in the now, the last thing in Chori Pukwa, I said it the last thing now. Yes. Okay? You are very intelligent. But you see,
I'm not as intelligent as you're saying. Because...
No, because we have to say, I know why I'm saying it. I recognize that, but now, you can handle this Biafra this to Biafra that. I'm just being honest.
Not using the word Biafra.
Well, you decide how you're going to use it. Okay? Yeah, because when you're more under 9 years old, they're in a war front.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. But when you have there. So
yes.
I don't need anybody to tell me where to go. And don't forget that Anya won't be able before Biafra. Anya won't be able. So decide what you do with it, but actually maybe the fantastic ideas and we could help on the land because
Okay, that's okay. Brother Bid, your suggestion is very good, or your advice is very good. Yeah. Only the word Biafra will stop the project. We can say southeast, or Ndibo, whatever we use. But to be able to create this power, to be able to develop this power project, whether we use solar or hydro or combined. So, like I said, thank God you are here, and by the grace of God, you are an expert in that, into the policy aspect of it, which is you're a lawyer. You're actually an energy lawyer, which means that you can regulate it. So, in here, not possible after this meeting, you can talk with C.V.Akuta, the moderator, and then we package something. If it means writing letters to the local government chairman in our area, Ngokbala, where west or where east, all the local government chairmen. Or if we have to write to the state governors.
No, don't worry about those things. So, we know how those things are. Don't worry. They will say they need, the nuts and bolts of it.
Yes,
which is where we miss a lot of time. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry about those things. As you progress, you can, those things will come.
Good. So you now package it. By God's grace, it will work. At least I may go to Buddha and
I want to have okay, it makes you open.
Thank you.
Yes. Please, before you go, please, could you send me your email address and maybe telephone number?
But yeah, that call true call. So they will lower this one volume and
we're in here before we leave.
We can tell me
no, phone. Yeah, you're calling the other time. Bidemuka@gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay. You know what my email? You know what email the MOBIN?
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
Okay, okay, I will write you the email privately.
Okay.
Kere also when I jog at you, but it's a make a Siri. Let me see your hand.
My hand is up.
Keda Hagi, Kele Bishkuna, why?
He just resigned.
Huh? Hello? That's what the Hello?
My hand is up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Who is raising his hand up?
I was raising my hand up.
Keda Hagi, Keda, what is your name? Oya, go ahead and ask a question, please.
Yes. Hey, thanks for having this meeting. And I didn't get you. As a matter of fact, I signed in late. Sorry about that. But from the letter I gathered, I'm so much interested and like the aspect of going into this energy issue. But I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Have your organization contacted
default?
There's noise there. Somebody should turn down other.
Yeah, just mute your phone.
I've done that. I've just muted the where the noise is coming from, yeah.
Okay. My question is, I said, have you, your organization or your group, contacted Bat Naji?
All right. Professor Bat Naji.
Have you?
No, Professor Bat Naji is handling that power. That is geometric power project for the East.
Okay.
For Aba. No, that we're not going to. We're not talking about that. That's a mega project, a big project for the East. We're talking about a micro power plant to help the communities while we wait for the big one to happen. There's something that the whole Southeast is trying to develop now. The whole Southeast, the governors and the Ndibo president, they want to speed up the development of the whole Igbo nation. Now, while that project is still being planned, we can't be waiting. We can do something to help the communities for now. They are envisaging a Southeast that will look like Tokyo, that will look like London or Dubai. They're envisaging a Southeast that will be the pride of the world. That people going to Dubai will say they want to go to Alibo. They're envisaging that, and it's going to be a very big project, massive project. In fact, like this Southeast money, there's a financial fund. There's a fund that they have created for that will act as catalyst for that development. It's going to be massive. But before that thing happens, shall we be waiting? What we can still help the communities.
Okay.
And that's what we.
Okay. This one you are about to bank. Will it be later plug in into the grid system that being developed?
Good. This one
is it capable or is it
yes.
a parallel? Are you doing a parallel project?
No.
Where somehow it will interface with...
Okay, I get your point. When I was talking before, I said in 1980s, when the problem of power generation became too much for us in Imo State, Desam Bakwe created the Amarako power plant, Amarako power station, which I think we used Tamal. And that time, our communities, the Imo State said they will give matching grant to the communities, 25% matching grant or something. We were not in the national grid. We were not in NEPA. No, we are not connected to national grid. It was a local thing, an internal thing, a local thing. And I said I helped my community that time, Amocha, and I made an appraisal report of our own electricity project. And we were able to get the project of electricity connected to us. They brought us the transformer and so on, and we got connected. And we got light. Amucha got light by got power by 1986. So other communities also were getting. So we were not on the national grid at all. But later, I think later we were connected to the national grid afterwards. That project at Amaraku right now, I heard that even all the things have been sold by one governor that ruled Imo State or something. But what there is a possibility of transition or being linked up to the grid afterwards. So if we are using the hydro or solar to power the communities for now, waiting for the big thing to happen, when that big thing happens, we can connect. It is possible to now connect to the grid when that big one happens. But if we keep waiting for that big one to come, it's a very long-term project. I think it's better to start doing something now to help ourselves before the big one comes.
Anyway, okay. Well, I commend you for this effort, but at the same time, I will suggest that you guys need to consult him. He's an expert in this field, proven he has done it before, and is capable of helping you guys. I'll advise you guys on what you are developing to make sure that it's compatible.
Yes, it's not. It's going to be contrary.
It's compatible, so you don't have to do this and then have to end up abandoning it. So okay. That's my take in it.
Yeah, we get your point.
Because he has done it before. You guys can even have a contract with him where he can have a smaller one for this community. Okay. You guys are doing now.
Yeah.
That is capable of connecting to this power to the
bigger one, to the bigger one. Okay.
Yes. To my point. Well, you see, it all depends on packaging. All these things will all come together. You see, the policy you put in place, the practices of it, the different technologies you put, they will all come together, including in the make-up fund the in charge of
any good disco, right?
Yeah, any good disco. All these things. I mean, yes, and personally, really, I've seen all these. It's like domino. They will all come together to serve communities, to serve individuals, commercial, industrial, all of these things. So, like I said, all my it will all come together. And Imago, really, what Dr. Professor Najim, I know him very well. It's not really an expert. He's an engineer, but he's not a power expert, even though only experience from doing that geometric. But there are aspects of it that he will also have to fall within the packaging.
I think what the last speaker before you said, his suggestion makes sense. That whatever packaging we are making, we do it in such a way, we consult him, do it in such a way that when that big one comes, that mega project they are doing, when it comes, these our little ones from the communities can easily be linked up without interference. So it's easy to transit. Kind of transiting.
I quite understand what he's saying. I mean, it's even done here, where you tie into the grid.
Yes.
Either to the so it's all done. Electron we had a build. Electrons moving from one place to the other.
Yeah.
In the end, so it's.
Okay.
When you package it, it will be clear to every.
Yes, like we said,
stakeholders. Yeah.
Yes, like we said, after you discuss with Akuta, and then we knew how to package it and move along. Like it's a before you maybe say all the. Any other question from any person?
Yes. Do we have any other person that wants to ask question? Udemba, Roland, I can't get the name. It's Juju. Udemba, Roland.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but all can be not the noisy. All can on a bar.
but even not a bit okay. Can you hear me now?
But yeah,
Yes,
I hear the
I
Kungwa.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, if I'm one something like the ideology is very, very nice. So I get good from the rural communities. Now my question, do the criteria a major city places to take, like no bag and when something like an application where the community will apply for that, then when when state and a bit special. It's a very wonderful idea.
No, I say, there is an email. The coordinator, the moderator, C.V.Akuta.
Yeah.
If you send him an email, say that your community or your local government is interested, then we can now start talking with the local government. And
okay.
So at least if you show interest, and brother B. Demuka said there has to be a packaging for it before we take off. So at least we can get to know those who are interested. Then before we take off. One, you have to have a river or stream in your place.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Then when the time comes, depending on the policy our policy makers put in place, I'm gonna say where to the engineers or site people will come and inspect your area. But at least start by showing interest, making your expression of interest known to the coordinator, to the moderator, C.V.Akuta, and then other things will follow.
Okay, it's very, very nice. I'm impressed with this. So
let's
take it up.
Where is it from?
Okay, I'm calling from Anambra State, Ihiala.
Orash, I'm Orash.
I'm Orash, but all the two a bit far from the communities, and we're different communities.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the distance from the stream to our own communities is more or less like 3 miles far away.
Close. It's very close now.
Don't worry.
It's close enough.
It's very close.
When you get to that point, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. I will also contribute in a way I can.
It's okay.
So I want to be actively involved.
Yes, that's good.
Okay, Biko, Udemba, send the email again, Biko. Send your email and then telephone number, please.
Okay, I will do that.
All right.
Yeah,
when I just got you, but it's Emeka Siri. Let me see your hand and then I'll give you the microphone. Oyende will like you or bid. You will like you.
No. No. But
okay,
I can talk.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, okay. Bueno. When I just got you, Emeka Siri. Thank you for the wonderful presentation.
One last thing.
I don't really have a question, but I have a comment.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Comrade Zulu of Welwe.
Hey, Director.
The Director of National Orientation of MOBIN. Anne Chairman, Barrister Emeka Siri, for this wonderful presentation. I won't really be asking him questions because, of course, he represents what our project. But I would rather call on all those who are attending this meeting, and even those who are not here and we wanted to do this report. Can everybody join MOBIN in achieving this objective? Remember, there are some people who made comments and they were saying something like, we commend you people, we are happy with you people, we like what you are doing. Please don't just like us, join us. Be part of the project. Because 1 or 2% will be Biafran. We are all part of the project. And no matter how small, will be well appreciated. All money game achieve all the objectives, all the projects we have outlined. So I'm calling on, I think the meeting moderator has already posted a call for emails, and there is also a link for membership of MOBIN. So anybody who wants to be part of our project, truly contributes to actualizing what we have outlined, can join MOBIN fully. And we'll look around, and if whatever project Onyang will help to be part of, it will be well appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director.
Okay.
Is it over?
All right,
okay, go ahead.
Chike, please, go ahead. I want to make it short.
Yeah.
Please, is it possible next time we meet, if we are following up this energy issue, get us the people that is involved that can answer some hard questions? Because this is a good project and it's doable if we have the right people to do it. The attorney here is really good and trying to navigate and tell us what he knows, a little bit, try to encourage us. But however, we need the actual people or the team that we can really ask questions. And for the last person that spoke after me, that mentioned when I talk about the Prof Naji, I don't think that person knows him very well. Because Naji was my classmate, we went to school together, high school, and he's the only one proven so far in Nigeria now, as far as the energy power is concerned. If it wasn't derailed by getting people that don't know anything about energy to get in there, someone like Offor and them, we would have had energy by now. So we should try not to make that same mistake here. If we are going on this project, get the people that involved that knows about energy, how to develop it, how to distribute it, and getting them on board so hard questions can be asked. And once we get the answer that we're looking for, knows that they are heading somewhere, then people will jump into this. But as of now, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, yes, Brother Chike, you are correct.
Okay.
This thing is still at the conception stage. This is like we're just trying to stir up or wake up people to make you understand that there is a possibility of using this source of energy to help ourselves, pending the time we get the bigger one. So, like I told you, I am a lawyer. I'm not an engineer, even though I have made research, not only a lawyer, but also evaluation. I'm a project appraiser. I've been able to make researches, made inquiries, and was able to come up with knowledge I have that, that we even have a source of energy that is clean energy, renewable energy that can actually serve us. Yes, I looked at the solar energy, I looked at this, I asked questions. Some engineers said the solar is very expensive. Then we say, okay, hydro can be better since we have streams and rivers. So I am not an engineer. Brother Bid Emuka said that the main thing now is package. After this now, he studied energy law and policy making, which is good. Then those of you that are experts in that field will now sit down and say, this project is doable. How do we go about it? Then the experts among you will draft the project, the rules, or however you're working. Anyhow, I'm not an expert in that field. You now do it very well and bring out to us, and it will be for the benefit of our. So don't be discouraged or don't feel disappointed that we are not experts that can answer difficult questions when it comes to energy. If you throw questions about energy to me, I will not be able to answer it. But what I know is I have done some research work and I know it's doable, that we can have alternative energy that is even clean and renewable energy using the hydrotech or solar. But the solar they have told me that solar is more expensive. That's why we say, let us start with hydro. But if we have people that can help us to merge with solar, that's good. As for Professor Naji, I respect him so well. But the project he's having, the the Abapa geometric power plant is very big, gigantic, gargantuan project. And while we are waiting for that one, we can help the communities to generate power. Like you said, in the planning of it, we make sure that it will be compatible so that it can be linked up to the general grid when that one happens. So please don't feel disappointed that we are not experts that can answer difficult energy problems in physics. You know, a lot of things. Some of us did not continue with physics or after our secondary schools. So please be patient with us. We'll get there.
Please,
Yes.
SAG has something to say.
SAG, before you speak, can I ask Chike to send us his email address so that we can contact him after the meeting? Eh? The speaker before SAG. Hello, Chike.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, please. That would be appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
SAG, you have the floor now, please. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. It's highly appreciated. Let me apologize for joining very late because one of my brothers lost his son, and he lost it just 2 weeks ago, and himself died.
Hey,
so,
sorry.
Oh, no.
So it's terrible.
Oh.
I was just coming back from there.
Oh.
They said
Where
it's
is it? Where is
Mr.
this?
Akuro that killed them.
No,
I'm calling
Lagos
from
or outside?
Lagos.
No, Lagos.
Hey, sorry.
From Lagos.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry to
So
hear
even
that.
in my room now, there is no light. So there's no way you can see me in the video. I'm very sorry about everything.
You see, that is why we are complaining about light and energy.
Yeah.
Let me sincerely thank our chairman. Always is somebody full of ideas, and God will continue to sustain him. And some of you that are here who also contributed immensely, God will guide you and protect you. I think my little contribution is that this is a very laudable project. But some people, when they gather in a class, the teacher will be speaking, teaching, they will be assimilating, and may not fully understand the teachings of the teacher. I will suggest that, like the chairman said, let this thing be, prepared in form of documents or in form of any way you want to make it, so that we will read through and be able to digest it. Not everything inclusive in this thing that will be said by mouth now, but when you are itemizing them in writing, there are several things you will include that people will be able to say, oh, this thing is good in it, that is good in it. So my suggestion is that let us put it into a package so that we can go through and know what we want in it. I so much appreciate this, and God will continue to guide you. Thank you very much.
And you too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, SAG. Right. Do we have any other person that wants to ask a question?
Yeah, Bid. Can
Okay, Bid, you have the floor.
Yeah, Biko. Yes. Mecca.
Yeah.
And the MOBIN. I will soon join anyway. I have my reservation there. But yeah, but you see, when I build a picture where we are lacking, as in the where we are lacking.
Yes.
Because ABLM Nugwa and Amamotu issuing his work. See, here yeah. Yeah. ABLM they are on Nepal really after high school. And you shall have even their own rural electricity projects. But you see, here was law, jurisprudence, and all these things that are tied together.
Yes, yes.
In their religion, it has share so I have to say that.
Okay.
But I was so glad when you mentioned the constitution about exclusive lease, concurrent list and yes, and the residual.
Yes, residual.
These are areas that MOBIN can even undertake to educate our people, no matter how highly educated they are.
Yeah.
These areas, when our people begin to catch it, when you package it within here, they may educate our people from the grassroots up, including the known as state assembly.
Exactly, in the House of Assembly.
Yes, because when we run too fast, and a whole lot of things.
It's true.
This fundamental education, most of our people,
they don't know it.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah, so because all Minglike will have part of more beniga and they the people, educating them on
what we have already.
Yes,
it's true. Yes,
these are low-hanging fruits, I might say. But you see, I be if you're on a Jesse sour, and on a man affect in a very big way. Yes, I am really.
Yes. Federal government, federal government.
Yeah, because our man will get in here and they're gonna have there and they may have package can seminars in schools there, in legislatures and the ministries in the people.
Yes.
Because, I just want to suggest that.
Yes, I hope the coordinator is noting down.
Yes.
I hope the moderator is noting down.
Yes, yeah.
Because here when we are busy, all those other things, we won't be distracted by hearing because these things our hands will be full.
Exactly.
In helping our people.
Yes.
Right. John, I'm going to judge you. I'm not going to judge one. Jonah.
Coordinator, I'm going to time to close.
Yes, we'll close in the next 20 minutes. Jonah, we can't hear you very well, Jonah.
He's on mute.
Okay, let me see what. Let me unmute you.
Yeah, and nobody can hear now.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, Jonah.
All right. So, I can open on no, my God, the mic.
People mute themselves.
Yeah, that's what I with them.
If you are not speaking, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I will put Tagomia. Eventually, about Ndibo. Barrister, MKMS. Oblo nature ka aga very fast. Maka ihe a na-ekwu na project bara uru. Onwere obodo na-aga n'iru without energy.
Yes.
That is fundamental. That is number one. Oblo nature ka move very fast. Ka ọ gaa ọsịsọ. Onwere ana ndị nwe interest. CBD emepụtagodo one ka afọ anya.
Ndị Igbo na-achọ ka afọ n'anya.
Ihe afọ anya ọbụrụ okwu ọnụ ọbụrụ ka a na-ekwu n'ọnụ. See ofu ebe just see one community now eje made that project now. After that eti ego to buy n'ebe anwa. Connect ọkụ alụba ọlụ ebe a. Forget the rest. Ọbụrụ ịdị na-ekwu ogologo anyịkụ. Anyị bụ ndị ojii. Anyị bụ ndị Igbo. O nwere ka anyị si eme ihe nke anyị. Ndị ọcha nwere ka ha si eme their own. So ịmala etu anyị si eme ka o wee gaa aga isi etu a mee ya. Na mbido okwu na okwu ụfọdụ ekwugasị. Everybody today now, well, I pass my neighbor or generator because
I pass now. It's true. Everywhere I pass my neighbor.
Onye ọbụla chọrọ inwe ya ma nwata akwụkwọ ma onye ọbụla chọrọ inwe ya. Asị na ihe a na-ewu just ihe need bụ one person na-eme ya onwụlọ ọkụ. And this is a project to get help. Why?
It's true.
They boost a lot of things because Nigeria for now and ndị Igbo for today the industrials and ha na-agba mbọ ha ma ihe dị mma. Mana ha dị misguided. enwero a particular direction anaga ihe onye like ka ọ na-eme. So this particular project now something very very okay, despite all the fact that na enwekwara ike like Professor Bade,
Professor Bat in Nigeria.
No, the other of our brother bụkwa a barrister, not Texas.
Okay.
Onwe packaging okwu and all that. No, those things the man need the action.
Okay.
Just can we go to one place? Just one place. As soon as this community now, it
no,
was
247.
247. It was one see okay Jack or here la we now. Cool side the middle behind. When no one place now as Meliana. This community no kwa how dia can't okubea. Forget is there the rest.
You have a point.
Yes. I eventually you know
you have a point. Ndi bo na sindi bo an ha banye moto na ejiro ejize moto ju ha banye.
Abanyebe. Just near the car fire.
I like that.
Because when I was when I jog at you, but I said, C.V.Akuta, when I would have then we can close the meeting. Although I have 15 more minutes to spend, but if we don't have it, okay. I'll check.
Okay.
Richard, you know they will like you.
Mba, Uche.
Yeah, I want to mobile out before I met you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Udemba, Roland.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, Udemba. Yeah, if Nekubo, Ona, our brother, no, you Texas, if we can readjust the name MOBIN. Imalugo, Ota, issue of Biafran, some people get here twisted. If you can just refine another nomenclature, God is suitable to the ears of everybody, then if our name is an affair, by God's grace, all the possible man like ABD, I will send an email. I'm what it takes. Yes. Very serious. Yes.
Everything no rush, not in Java, eh?
Yes, relax.
Richard, okay, when I do now, go ahead.
Emeka, that's a question. Okay, because Mazi Emeka.
Dancer.
Yeah. Please, I greet you and everybody now participating.
I need to.
Yes, I'm for the progress.
Kebosi now.
My question is very simple. My name is Uchogi. I'm calling from United Kingdom.
Okay.
Nostalgia. Okay. Now, my question is very simple.
Yes.
Based on your preliminary assessment, when many communities in Igbo land can afford this project on their own, with or without government support?
Yes, we can afford it. Every community with a mini river, streams flowing can afford it. Here in the micro turbines. We are not talking about the big, the micro turbines. We can contribute. We can afford it.
Okay.
So what is too big about it? If we don't have engineers. We have engineers. Or with the micro turbines, can I help contribute to or minute about? So I don't think I don't think it's difficult.
Packaging.
Not rocket science.
Yeah, I know. I know. I've seen it in Scotland. I've seen videos of all those things. I believe we can do it.
Yes,
all weather communities. And another question is, do we have enabling laws to allow communities to go into such?
Yes, I have already quoted the law.
No, very late.
Very late.
You're late. Okay.
Late.
Okay, Richard, because we don't have enough time. Because go ahead.
Okay.
Richard, we can't hear you, Richard. Richard, your microphone is not on, eh?
Always say, just no, but I jump to age.
But Richard Kaitos, Richard Nawilaki, Richard, your microphone get on.
You got funny maybe when it are because all quite the rebem no.
I want the Koku. Well, let's say the Koku.
Okay, I jump to age new. Oh, we're on your Kuroku from Texas. I said that I get me here, Deka, Omina Lani, Siri, the Langot and De Bani. Oh, yeah, man, you were change your say. Oh, we're on Yara. I mean, the only over on Yara, so oh, we're working on area. And I chaw in your or see Biconi. Onu jisike mee ka ọ dị m mma. Oge wetara ọgwụ ofu onye si oriele nni bifa na-agba ya ọgwụ. Ya so onye ekwuru okwu nni o kwusie ya ike. Wete atụmatụ ọ mara mma na nsogbu niile ndị ebe anyị nwere bezo na otu a ndị Fulani bịara juo ebe anyị. Nsogbu adịrịghị na ugbo ha na-akọ na ihe niile. If you are going to wetara ha ọkụ or whatever, how would they see it and accept it? Because when you hear that now, oh yeah, come to regional, I got bad on Kahi, who is okay with the Hawk now. Because if you are good in our economies, I see where you want to localize an industry. First of all, you can get the enabling condition. Then you get back where the situation and the localization. Ebe nsogbu dịrị anyị na ala Igbo na based on nsogbu Nigeria. Then we were talking na ga-awụrụ anyị the priority. Ọ dịghị dị na anyị mejiri ebe anyị based on ndị a na-achị igbusi anyị egbusi. Ọ wa ajụjụ m ndewo.
Okay. Our priority now kwa security. Oh, we are the issue.
Who knows security?
But I'm thinking that even the two can go together. And like you know now, here by security, there's little I as a human being can do.
The two may not really go together.
Okay. So, but I can only advise. My role is advisory, advising the leaders, advising the governors, the leaders, all our leaders, on what to do to provide security. That is much I can. Even this one we are proposing now about power generation is also advisory. So, like you said, yes, which one is more important to us? Both of them are important to us. And the scale of preference, security is important. Adindo, but then, can we now say, okay, because we are fearing that our life is at stake, or that we are fearing, because we are fearing, we will no longer go on to develop our land? I don't think that would be a good option for us. My suggestion is, while we are pushing the governors and leaders and community heads and community leaders into taking action for the protection of our territory, while we are pushing them to do that, we also push for development of our territory. That is how I look at it. But to say we should forget about developing our territory and now just be talking about only security, security, and security, I don't think that is the better option. If it's possible to continue or to push for security as well as continue developing our land, that is better in my own understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Richard Jaju, we have only 8 minutes to end the meeting, please. So
okay, that's right.
Quick.
I'm Richard. I'm based in Manchester, in UK. I'm Monyo here. Right.
Okay.
Anyway, because here they made the mumma. I'm more boy like here and they make a gaga.
Yes.
Nibos na aka na credit in Guru.
Yes.
Broke because it has a joa. The existing members of MOBIN, and make go initial cost. Or this project got cost because all that like on like everybody, and at the time I told here my suggestions. I think they're very valid and important. But that's my job, and we're going initial cost to ascertain, a project got cost. Not probably the entire Igbo land, but the initial, a pilot project. I won't get any cost put into it.
Okay.
It's very important.
Okay.
And then secondly,
I'm a second and can't all the too early for my brother. But you have a valid point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Secondly, I had to come up with a business case. You're nothing about business case, so that it will now itemize, just like one or two people had said. I might put to in writing. You understand? Because enemy here, some people like 1 workers now. Sometimes you make it, and when some kind of computer model where you the cost, you have a cost. Go see, and if you are driving for fund, you see, look at this is how it looks like. They have a cost. So you
it's all in the package. We're going in the package.
It ties again to go packaging. Engineer, we have. I have a background from geological point of view as a geologist. I have a background in IT. I have a background in sustainable development. I'm from UK. I go on electricity projects. I go on for UK government on gas projects. And I'm a petroleum engineer. So anything that has to do with sustainable development, I think I could say I'm well grounded in it. Not from but the technical aspects. You understand? So, but having said that, you understand? So if you do from local government, village chiefs, there is to do some kind of local sanitization is very, very crucial, because the governors, they will die, they will kill the idea.
They will kill it.
They will kill the idea.
Even there's someone will kill it.
Yeah, your suggestion, your observation is very good, very important.
And then one, I have to count where.
Yeah, your observation is very important. What we are saying is this, for instance, like the brother from Ihiala, who mentioned that Orash is very close to them and another river something. Brother B. Demuka said this thing will come to the nitty-gritty of packaging. For instance, if we want to take up the Orash River or Ihiala community, for instance, then there will be a time of going there to ascertain. There will be a time of inspection, survey inspection, and there the time of sitting down to go to the details of what it will cost. But the cost of micro turbine, you can even Google it. You can Google and find the cost of micro turbine. But I'm not saying we're going to importing from UK. They produce it here in the UK, in some areas, even in Scotland and some other areas. They produce micro turbines. So, but we're not going to import. Our engineers can fabricate turbines. It's mechanical. Mechanical engineer can fabricate turbines. What is difficult about it? If our mechanical engineers cannot fabricate turbines, then why did they go to universities to study?
We dismiss them. We dismiss them.
Okay.
We're not going to Scotland. We're not going to. I mean, micro turbines, the small turbines.
Emeka.
Yeah.
Emeka, we have only 3 minutes to round up the meeting, so let us give Pastor Franklin maybe a minute to ask his question.
All right.
Before we round up.
All right.
Pastor Franklin, you have the audience now, please. We can't hear Franklin.
He's on mute.
Pastor Franklin, please unmute yourself.
I'm desperate as an individual for you to succeed. So ihe nchiri is suggest to biko alondi anina na atose machara mma. And I don't want this yes.
Can we share why biko?
Okay, esim Heathrow London akpo. Yes, I'm desperate for you, Emeka, to succeed. Why? Because ihe dị mma a na-akpọ ya nwa mma, ihe mejiri emeji a na-akpọ ya nwa mma.
Yes.
Point I'm trying to make is that please don't make this project called a talk shop. I kucha awusa. O nwere nwanne akwuru no si gị bido one place, a pilot project, so that I ga ahụ n'anya. This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And then whatever you need to do, if there is, you have to develop a secretariat so that I can any information, building blocks on what you did the last time, what you did the next meeting, and what you did the next meeting. So right now I want to review the discussion you have with the other guy from the other apparatus, and then I want to review if the last meeting Munagin or Ayin Chani Nenwelo, in order to see how far you're coming along.
Yes, yes.
Nobody wants a time wasting agenda.
You're
Biko Jishike Ogadrege Manaha Jesus.
Amen. So coordinator, what I'm saying from all the things that are saying here now, MSN now, your brother B. Demuka is a very good, since he's into it, and other engineers who have also spoken. We now put heads together and start. Like you said, we can take one project. We can decide when you come together. We decide: are we going to start with Ihiala or even Umaka or Mbise? Okay, we can take one community and then we start from there. So if we put heads together, we decide, let the project team, we can constitute a project team. The project team will decide, let us take one pilot case, just one. Whether it is we take or Ihiala, we just take one. And then do the appraiser, the project appraiser, or the costing and so on, and start with that. Like the brother said, if we can succeed in giving one community energy 24/7, hey, every person will, in fact, they will say, oh,
on top of the world.
Exactly. NEPA, they don't want to hear about NEPA anymore. NEPA.
Okay, but it's Emeka. On that note, I think we have finished our time now for this meeting.
All right.
I move for enjoyment.
Thank you.
Seconded by me.
Thank you.
So the meeting is hereby ended. We'll see you again next week Saturday, please. Same time.
Bye. Okay, bye.
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 Bye.